Good evening and welcome to the news roundup for Monday, March 27. I am Abigail Smythe. Before we get into the news, please remember to like this video, share your views in the comments, and share the video with your family and your friends.
Teach them! Always make sure the message reach them!
Now for the news in detail. A woman's body was found in Great Pond, St. Anne Monday morning. The deceased was identified by family members as Elise Russell, otherwise called Dorothy. Residents say they stumbled upon the body shortly before 7 a.m. She was found on the compound of a business establishment in the community, and we'll have more details on this story as they become available. A police constable has died from injuries he sustained in a crash along Kingston Spring Road in St. Andrews Sunday morning. He is 23-year-old Delroy Hines, who was assigned to the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch. The driver of the vehicle, who is also a police constable, remains in hospital. Reports from the Halfway Tree Police are that sometime after 2 a.m., Hines was a passenger in a Toyota Belta motorcar being driven by the other constable. The driver allegedly lost control of the vehicle and collided with a utility pole. Both men sustained injuries and were taken to hospital, where Hines died while being treated. The driver remains hospitalized. The relatively quiet community of Highgate in St. Mary has been left shattered following a double murder Sunday evening. The victims have been identified as 16-year-old student of Guys Hill High School, Nathan Segree, also known as Pazzi, and 22-year-old correctional officer Giovanni Marcus Higgins. The police say both victims are from Captureland in Highgate. It has been reported that around 6:30 p.m., both victims rode up on a motorcycle at a playfield near the St. Mary High School when a white Toyota Axia motorcar drove up. Reports say two men alighted from the vehicle and opened gunfire on the victims, hitting them all over their bodies. They were taken to the Port Maria Hospital, where they both succumbed to their injuries. No motive has been established for the attack. The Kingsvale police in Hanover are carrying out investigations to determine the origin of a fire which left a 63-year-old man dead and sections of a house destroyed in the community Sunday afternoon. The deceased has been identified as Cornell Somerville and was believed to be of unsound mind. It is reported that about 12:30, fire was seen coming from Somerville's room on the ground floor of a family house in the community. Residents rushed to the scene and managed to put out the fire. Somerville's charred remains were later found under the rubble. A man the police say is a well-known violence producer was shot and killed in Mafuta district in St. James Sunday afternoon. He has been identified as 30-year-old Rowan Barrett, otherwise called Manny Boy of Mafuta. The police say around 5:45, Barrett was among a group of persons at a shop when he was pounced upon by armed men who shot him multiple times. He died on the spot. Investigators say Barrett was released from prison in 2020, where he served 10 years after being convicted on rape and illegal possession of firearm charges. They say since his return, he has come under investigation for murder and several shootings in his community. An off-duty policeman shot and injured a taxi driver at a betting shop in East Kingston Sunday afternoon. The 53-year-old driver allegedly attacked the officer with a knife and was shot. He has since been treated at hospital, and the Independent Commission of Investigations Indicum has launched a probe into the matter. It is understood that around 12:20 p.m., the cop, who is a constable and works in the St. Catherine North Division, was at the outlet when an argument developed between him and the taxi driver. Police say the driver pulled a knife and threatened to stab the policeman. He then advanced toward the cop with the knife and his hand raised in a stabbing position. The report states that the cop, in fear for his life, pulled his service pistol and discharged 2 rounds in the man's direction, hitting him twice in the left leg. The injured man was assisted by residents to hospital, where he was treated. A woman is dead and 2 men nursing gunshot wounds after they were shot at a wedding in Negril, Westmoreland, Saturday evening. The deceased woman has been identified as 31-year-old Rashima Senior of Riverside District in Hanover. It is reported that she is related to the couple that was getting married. It is also understood that the two injured men were hired photographers. It is reported that sometime after 6 p.m. the wedding was underway on the compound of Shields Hotel when armed men traveling on a motorcycle gained access to a neighboring property and opened fire on the wedding party through a fence. The bridal party and patrons were left scampering for cover. When the shooting subsided, the two men and the woman were discovered suffering from gunshot wounds. They were rushed to a medical facility where Senior was pronounced dead and the two men treated. A 14-year-old boy was attacked and stabbed by several people in an apparent feud over a girl in Mandeville, Manchester, Saturday night. Police have confirmed the attack and reported that the child was set upon by 5 other boys and 2 men at a restaurant off Ward Avenue in the town. The injured boy has since been admitted to hospital. According to the police, initial investigations have revealed that the incident occurred out of an issue with a female with whom the victim and the suspects had been feuding recently. It is understood that around 8 p.m. the boy was among some friends who were attacked by the group of men and boys armed with knives. The boy was stabbed in the abdomen and chest. He was rushed to hospital where he was treated and admitted. He is said to be in stable condition. The police have since launched a manhunt for the suspected attackers. And the body of a man was found in a churchyard on 100 Lane off Red Hills Road in St. Andrew on Saturday. The body had what appeared to be gunshot wounds. This is less than 24 hours after a man was killed in a shootout between rival gunmen that started on Red Hills Road and continued on 100 Lane. Reports are that loud explosions were heard about 9:30 a.m. and the police were alerted. Upon their arrival, the body was found in a churchyard and was removed to the morgue. No motive has been established for the killing. A 20-year-old farmer and an 18-year-old man have been charged with buggery and failure to report a child in need of care and protection after a child was reportedly taken into a banana field and assaulted. Charged are Anthony Grant, otherwise called Murderer, and Marlon Reed, both of Plantation Heights, St. James. According to the police, on Tuesday, February 21, 2 girls aged 12 were walking along the Plantation Heights main road when Grant and Reed drove up on a motorcycle and started a conversation with them. It is alleged that during the conversation, Grant pulled one of the girls into a nearby banana field while Reed restrained the other on the roadway. Grant allegedly undressed the girl and sexually assaulted her. The child was then reportedly told that she would be shot if she told anyone what happened. A report was made to the police and both men were arrested during an operation on Friday, March 17. Grant was charged after he was pointed out during an identification parade on Tuesday, March 21, and Reed on Thursday, March 23. They are slated to appear in the St. James Parish Court on Wednesday, April 5 to answer to the charges laid against them. Chadain Harris, the convicted serial rapist who confessed to raping and terrorizing women in a series of attacks in Portmore St. Catherine between 2014 and 2019, is to serve 31 years in prison. A sentence discount request by his attorney, Vincent Wellesley, was rejected by Justice Bertram Morrison. In March last year, Harris, who was captured in 2019, pleaded guilty to 7 counts of rape, 5 counts of grievous sexual assault, 5 counts of simple larceny, wounding with intent, and 10 counts of burglary and larceny. Investigators reported that from 2014 to 2019, Harris targeted single women by breaking into their homes and sexually assaulting them at knife point. He is also facing a charge before the gun court after one of the victims reported that he had a firearm when he attacked her. The Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency Pica will start issuing new high-security e-passports to the public as of March 31. An e-passport passport is an electronic machine-readable passport with an embedded microchip that stores a digital version of the holder's biographical data. The chip has a unique digital signature specific to each issuing country. Pica says the e-passport is a robust biometric document with added layers of security that can aid in the fight against new and emerging threats to identity theft and national security. It explains that its decision to issue the document is aimed at facilitating greater confidence and acceptance of the Jamaican passport for travel facilitation globally. The introduction of the e-passports will see Jamaica joining more than 150 countries doing so, including 11 CARICOM states. Pica states that passports that have been previously issued are still valid until the expiration date, and there is no need to change them. It also confirms that there will be no increase in fees as a result of the introduction of the new passports. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has again sounded the alarm that Jamaica may have to import labor due to a shortage of skilled personnel in the country. The Prime Minister said he received a call from a local business operator who expressed an inability to find 50 workers. Mr. Holness said the company indicated that it may have to source employees from overseas. However, the Prime Minister did not name the business nor the industry in which it was involved, but outlined that he was not inclined to import labor, but will instead target unattached youth for training through the efforts of Heart NSTA Trust. He highlighted that there are about 150,000 unattached youngsters without prospects. He said they must be reached and brought into the labor force. Prime Minister Holness was speaking Friday morning at the launch of the Jamaica National Service Corps residential camps for unattached youth from marginalized communities. The 6-week camps will be managed by Heart NSTA Trust with funding from the European Union and will target 260 participants per quarter. The Service Corps program is designed to equip youngsters from crime-ridden communities with skills including tiling and drywall construction. At the end of the 6-week-long camp, participants will be assisted by agents of the government to find gainful employment. Prime Minister Holness says the program will put youngsters on a path to self-improvement. In business, the Economic Program Oversight Committee, EPOC, has asserted that Jamaica is sufficiently insulated from the banking sector fallout happening in the United States. Silicon Valley Bank folded after a run on the institution, making it the second largest bank to fail in U.S. history. Signature Bank also collapsed shortly afterwards as depositors began demanding their funds. Chairman of EPOC, Keith Duncan, while conceding that there may be some effects here in Jamaica, said on Friday that he does not expect the sector to be crippled. And the foreign exchange market for Monday, March 27, sees the Canadian dollar's buying rate at $109.10 and selling at $110.98. The euro's buying rate is $156.97, while selling for $166. The buying rate for the pound is $179.67, while the selling rate is $186.23. The US dollar's buying rate is $149.67 and the selling rate is $151.75. In the region, Guyana is the leading exporter of Seabob Shrimp globally as the government seeks to increase the productivity and competitiveness of the fishery commodity. The government's plan is to increase Guyana's status as a major exporter of Atlantic Seabob Shrimp while ensuring the long-term stability of the stock and enhancing individual wealth in the expanding tourism and oil and gas sectors. This aligns with the government's food security agenda as it continues to take the charge in reducing the Caribbean's high food import bill by 25% by 2025. And on the international scene, an armed woman fatally shot 3 9-year-old students and 3 adults at a private Christian grade school in Nashville on Monday. The shooting occurred at the Covenant School, a Presbyterian school for about 200 students from preschool through 6th grade. Metro Nashville police say the 28-year-old shooter entered the Covenant School via a side door and was armed with at least 2 assault rifles and a handgun. She She fired multiple shots on the first and second floors of the school. A 5-member team of police officers heard the gunfire, went to the second floor, and fatally shot the woman. And in sports, West Indies were beaten by South Africa by 6 wickets in the second 2020 International at Centurion Park on Sunday. It is the highest successful run chase in the format on the international stage. West Indies finished with 258 for 5 of 20 overs. It is their highest total in this format and the 7th highest ever. South Africa finished with 259 for 4 of 18.5 overs. And Jamaica's Reggae Boys fell just short of advancing to the finals of the CONCACAF Nations League on Sunday. They were held 2-2 by Mexico in their League A Group A semi-final game played at Estadio Azteca in Mexico City. The Jamaicans, who had to win to advance to the final, set for June in Las Vegas, Nevada, led twice but were pegged back on each occasion by the Mexicans. Mexico finished the competition with 8 points, 2 more than Jamaica, with Suriname at the bottom of the table. And that's it for your news roundup for today. Please remember to like the video, leave a comment, and share the video with your family and your friends. I am Abigail Smythe. Have a good evening and see you next.
Teach them! Hey, yo, yellow! Send the message and make it reach them. It's teach them. Right here, Warlord representing.
Thank you for watching. Like the video before you go. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. And remember to share the video with your friends and family. And browse the channel for more quality content. Until next time, walk good, my friends.
Teach them!